definitely saves two. What a spell from Wickramasinghe. 4 overs, 1 for 17. India 35 for 4.
पॉलिसी बाजा करा जिदुशा होके नो हिताकुशी। समझ में आया? मैंने कितनी बार हिंदी में समझाया कि पॉलिसी बाजार से कंपेयर करके कार इंश्योरेंस पे 8,000 रुपए तक बचा सकते हो, पर कुछ लोगों को अभी तक समझ नहीं आया, तो मैंने सोचा जापानी में समझा देता हूँ। सायोनारा।
Pace for Sri Lanka, they need to keep picking up wickets to stay in the game and reduce that pressure at the death overs.
Well, Sri Lanka would hope that they get into the lower order of India pretty soon. Just happy to nudge around for singles. Shubman Gill.
This is not good news at all. Let's hope he's all right, but he seemed to be holding on to that shoulder. Now this is what happened. Oh, certainly jarred that. Earned the applause of Chamindu Wickramasinghe, but he certainly felt the pain straight away. So Avishka Fernando, I believe, is the substitute. Another young player who did extremely well in the recent Lanka Premier League. Pretty unfortunate not to be in this starting 11. But Sri Lanka might consider it as a positive headache rather than a negative headache.
That's usually the ploy against Shivam Dube. He doesn't enjoy the shorter ball. This was bowled at decent pace.
I'm sure Sanaji Surya Charita Sri Lanka, new analysing coach, if you may say, in the team, Jayan Mubarak, would have had a massive say in this, how to attack Shivam Dube. As correctly said, Avi, most of the opposition around the world targets Shivam Dube with the bouncer, but most of them overdo it and becomes predictable. Against these kind of players, the bouncer has to be used correctly and properly.
Well said, because that's where Shivam Dube's resurrection as a batter all-rounder. Gives himself room. Another diving stop from Hasaranga. Has he saved two again? Sri Lanka have been brilliant on the field today.
Hasaranga in particular has been on fire. He's been running around, he's been holding on to catches. Another great effort here. Look at how he gives himself room, creates the width.
Spectacular effort from Wanindu Hasaranga. 2 catches already. Seems like he's a man on a mission today. Sri Lanka have come out all guns blazing after winning the toss. Just 4 boundaries so far. Could be 2. And Shubman Gill does get back quite easily. But Chamindu Wickramasinghe, exceptional with the new ball.
Yeah, he was a third most economical spell on debut for Sri Lanka in T20s, and named Emerging Player of the Tournament in the LPL. Scored 186 runs and picked up 7 wickets, and most importantly played some important knocks, and some games he bowled the death overs as well, especially the last over. for Dambulla strikers. Though they missed out and they finned with the wooden spoon, that man on screen was the man that everyone opened their eyes for.
Another call for 2, played off the back foot. They're doing this well, India. 3 2s in the over. The story, Chamindu Wickramasinghe getting his cap from Sanath Jayasuriya. Just 4 or 5 weeks ago, he must have been so disheartened not being picked up in the LPL draft, and then comes back 2 months later. What a great game this is. It's turning out for Sri Lanka, and bowling a wonderful spell with the new ball. Wide signal.
Well, Sri Lanka will have to be mindful of this. So far they've been good, just 2 wides. But they got to be disciplined here, and they are. So Asitha Fernando too has really been good today. 1 for 10. He's been generally good with his line and length. Haven't seen that knuckle ball, which I thought he overdid in that last game. The Sri Lankan bowling generally has been very, very respectable. 2 for 16 for Theekshana Wickramasinghe, a very fine spell. 1 for 17. Last ball of the over.
Nicely done. 9 runs coming off that over. 44 for 4 after 8.
Brilliant start. 44 for 4. Sri Lanka would be over the moon with what they have done so far, considering whom they have dismissed. Now, one of the issues here, as far as I could see, is about the death bowling. We've just seen Matisha Pathirana going off the field. Now, he is such a vital clog in that second 10 overs. Ramesh Mendis comes on into his 4th game. So that is going to be an interesting area to keep an eye on. What is Charith Asalanka's strategy going to be?
Yes, Roshan, and he'll have to figure out a second option if Pathirana cannot come back. But he's a hardy young man, Matisha Pathirana. He might have received a little bit of a jolt, but I don't think it'll be too serious. Hopefully he will come back. If not, I'm certain that Asalanka will have other options in mind. Asitha Fernando has begun well. He's got 2 overs left. He might be held back. Wickramasinghe as well. Oh, no, he's done with his bowling. Beg your pardon. Mahesh Theekshana also bowls in the death, so certainly another option.
See, I can tell you one thing. Sanath Jayasuriya, he's someone who's played with a lot of pain. So I'm sure he's going to force Matisha Pathirana, if there's half a chance, to get him to get on the field and bowl.
Is there a possibility of Sanath Jayasuriya coming into the team now, Roshan? And
don't write that off.
Don't
left
write
arm
it
spin.
Nothing beyond him.
But this is a wonderful performance from the Sri Lankan bowlers so far. And I think the one thing that really can be highlighted is the performance of both the young seamers, Wickramasinghe and Fernando, both of them, impeccable in the line and length. On a surface like this, which is not so conducive to batting or that fluent stroke play that we've been accustomed to, they've been brilliant.
That's it. Ramesh Mendis. Not the greatest delivery, but it doesn't matter. There was a bit of a juggle for Kusal Mendes, but India's 5th wicket is down, and that's Dubey.
When it rains, it pours. Outside the off stump, looked like it held up in the wicket just a bit. You could hear that nick almost here in the dressing room, the 2nd floor. Ramesh Mendis picks up his 1st wicket in his 1st over. He gets the 6 hitting big fish, Shivam Dubey. he goes. For 13 or 14 deliveries, India are in a spot of bother. In fact, more than one. 48 for 5. Cricketer in me, the professional cricketer in me is still alive. Yeah, absolutely. Riyan Parag.
Half of the Indian side out for 48 in the 9th over. You're starting to see some turn. Well, the pace is important. Ramesh Mendis anyway gives it a lot of revs as an off-spin bowler, and we've seen him getting some response off the surface, and also we've seen that it appears to be getting a little bit stuck in the pitch most of the time. Rinku Singh's wicket was a very good example of that, where the bottom hand came into play straight away. Oh, look at that. What about that?
Well, we were talking about this as I went and had a look at the wicket today, and it was really, really dry. In fact, almost dusty. Young Riyan Parag, 4 innings, just 31 runs. Early days, batting down the order, not at his best position. Testy times for him, gets off the mark.
I think the overcast conditions, Roshan and Robbie, with the wickets under cover, that is why we see the wicket behaving in this manner, so mischievous at this stage. A thick outside edge and good work behind the stumps. A big deflection, you need to watch the ball as it comes off the bat, and he did that so well. The tackiness that we see here is because of that. Down the leg side again, good work by the wicketkeeper. He has covered all the angles very well.
I suspect that this is going to be obviously a low scoring game. I think anything around 140, 150 will be a good score on this wicket, given the nature of this wicket.
Slightly slow. They want 2 here, and they're running well. It's been brilliant running by the Indian batters. And a direct hit. I think he was in. But always direct hit. Yes, easy. They're not going to take any chances, these umpires today.
TV umpire
They will
director,
never
we have
take chances on
umpire
direct
referral
hits.
for a run out from umpire Ruchi Sen. Please show me the best side on anchor, please.
Stand by hop 1, roll hop 1.
Roll it. Okay, batsman has clearly made his ground before the wicket is put down. I have a decision for the giant screen.
So that was an easy decision. India 53 for 5. Now Wanindu Hasaranga gets introduced a little bit later than usual. Now this could be because Matisha Patirana is still not absolutely sure of coming on. So Charit Asalanka is looking at his options.
Yeah, you can see the ball sticking into the ground there and not coming through. And it has been the nature of the wicket this entire innings so far. Interesting to see if even if Patirana does come back into the field of play, if he'll be allowed to bowl immediately, because it's not an external injury, it's an internal injury. So there might be another thing that they will have to contend with, Sri Lanka.
But look at what Sri Lanka has achieved so far. And all this is without Pathirana. 55 for 5, strong Indian batting lineup. Surya Kumar Yadav back in the hut. Rinku Singh was promoted. That's what happened with Pathirana. A valiant effort, managed to save some runs. And then he has injured his shoulder. So this kind of performance should actually invigorate the Sri Lankan side in such a big way. Huge confidence for them.
This is clever cricket, this from these two. This is how he felt when he left the field with the physio. Might have just jarred it a little bit. Can feel uncomfortable. Perhaps he's just icing it for that 13-15 minutes that is status quo for most cricketers, and then he'll come back on. Very clever by the Indians. Trying to push for 2. But Mendes on the button there. This is interesting. You need to get those singles. Make sure you don't lose back-to-back wickets. Interesting.
See, looking at Wanindu Hasaranga's pace, he generally is in the mid-80s to the high 80s, but you could see that he's dropped it here. He's searching for something, and that's what he's looking for. He's searching for something off the pitch.
He certainly is. Bowling slower through the air. That means a little bit more revs on the ball, which brings a little bit more purchase off the wicket. So more turn. Has been 5 overs since the last boundary for this Indian team, which is rare in these times. Tucks it away off his hips again, within the square for another single. It's the end of the over. 59 for 5 after 10.
At the halfway stage, India 59 for 5 at the current rate 118. Well, what about this now, Matisha Pathirana? This is what I think Robin was. How long would he go on with the icing? 15 minutes, you said, Robin?
13 minutes is minimum, and once the 13 minutes are done, then they'll give it another 10 minutes to kind of let it go and see if there's some more blood flow back through that area which is injured. And then if he's a little bit more, if he's pain free, then he probably will come out again and bowl again. I think it'll be the umpire's perspective on if it's an internal or external injury, and if he'll be allowed to bowl or not. Hasaranga is also finds himself in the dugout at the moment. It's perhaps just a loo break.
Down the ground, that's for, I think, a boundary after quite a while. After 33 balls, that's a very long time.
Very rare in Indian cricket. Was pitched right up in the arc, over pitched, error in length, and Riyan Parag takes full toll, straight down the ground, oozing confidence in that shot.
See, that's the length he generally bowls. He tends to bowl quicker, just back of a length. He doesn't go full. He doesn't look to loop it. Now, when he looped it, that's the price he had to pay, because it was slightly over-pitched. But if you looked at what he did, not the wides, but generally the length is slightly back and around that off stump. And at, say, 90 to the high 80s.
Swiped on the leg side. Will come back for 2. He has been holding one end up here, Shubman Gill, and we'll have to bat through if India can get anywhere close to the 130, 140 mark. They don't have wickets in hand, which means that one of these two kids have to kind of bat through the innings for India.
That should be cut off. So again, 9 runs off that over. 11 done, 68 for 5.
The spinners have done well. Thikshana, 2 wickets for him. Hasaranga was economical in the only over he's bowled so far. Mendes picking up that wicket. I think the spinners, the biggest difference is the way they have bowled today. They have lessened down on their pace, and that is why they're able to get some kind of turn or grip on the surface.
The way Hasaranga appeals for everything that hits the pad seems like, oh, the batter's dead in the water. And in the last, oh, they're going up for it. Wow. That has caught me surprised.
TV umpire to director, we have a player review for LBW. The on-field decision is not out. I've checked the feet, it's a fair delivery. Please start with front on spin vision. Front on spin vision coming up. Passes close to the bat. Give me alternate please to confirm whether there is any bat in ball.
Stand by hop 2 and roll hop 2.
Keep rolling it. Okay, it's a flat line with the ball passes the bat and the gloves. So confirm no bat involved. Ball tracking minutes ready, please.
Stand by hop 1 and roll hop 1.
Ball tracking coming up. The origination is not out. Pitching in line. Impact outside. Give me the on-field umpire. Ravi, you can stay with your not out decision, please. I will let you know when you're on screen. You're on screen now. You can make your signal.
I don't think that was a great review. That never looked out.
I can safely say in this series, Hasaranga's reviews have been pretty poor.
They are trying to build this partnership. 22 from 18. Shubman Gill as the vice captain. Rian being given another opportunity. It was pitched in line but drifting down the leg side. It was kind of the slider, not the leg spinner. In the air, good footwork there by Shubman Gill. They still have batting left in this Indian lineup. They have Washi Sundar after this, but this is such a crucial phase of the game. Both these batters here, Shubman Gill and Rian Parag. Rian, I've always maintained, has done well in the domestic season, plus in the recently concluded IPL last season. I think he's been in the 11 because of those stellar performances.
It's a phase where you have to play boring cricket, where you're going to try and make sure you rotate the strike as much as possible. A single or a double comes off every ball that you face. Build a little bit of a partnership, a solid foundation to then score your boundaries out of. Because you find yourself behind the 8 ball in this situation, and from this point in, it's about having the patience to play boring cricket and then give yourself a chance to score those big runs in the back end.
So talking about boring cricket, singles and twos, you mean? They've done very well. They've run 18 singles and 8 twos since the power play. So that's exactly what India should be doing here. And they're just trying to get into a good position, trying to build a platform. So 12 done, 74 for 5.
12 overs gone, 74 for 5. And we still don't have any news if Pathirana is coming back or not. A lot of current and former players here at the ground. Sara Pereira is on the ground. Welcome, gentlemen.
Major Thisara Pereira, if I'm right. Kamindu Mendis is into the attack. Bit of left arm, bit of right arm. Yeah, Matisha Pathirana will be a big miss. Now tell me, Robin, how do you set the next 8 overs up as a batting unit? What is the target you're after? 8 and over 138, is that enough?
Yeah, I think if you look for between 130 and 140, you can get to 150. But if you aim 150 from here, you probably end up at just 135, 138.
There's been a bit of turn. Drier pitch. Ball has held up tonight 2.5 degrees. Lovely hit. Up and over, short extra cover. That's a boundary.
Slightly full, and Shubman Gill is a quality player. He's not going to miss out. Plenty of width. The length was full. And almost a drop kick over extra cover. Wonderful shot. That's not the length. All the spinners who's been successful today have been pitching that delivery around 6 to 8 feet. And Kamindu Mendis, yes, he's a part-timer, but you've got to be much shorter than that.
Oh, that went past. So this is a fresh pitch, but we are getting the most turn here today compared to the first two.
It is a dry pitch, Russell. It's very dry. Like when I had a look at the wicket, it seemed pretty dusty. I reckon Kamindu was trying to bowl that line and that length and erred. Possibly one of those working processes or progresses for Kamindu Mendis, given that he bowls ambidextrally. He'll have to find a way to be more consistent with his areas.
Preferred arm is the right arm. Had a surgery on that right arm and hence does not throw, prefers to throw with the left arm. This is good. You got the boundary, now you're working the gaps, picking up the twos.
I walk into the scene as a bowler who could bat. Nowadays he's a batter who could bowl, and this is a bonus. And in these kind of surface, in these conditions, a couple of overs from him batting at number 4 in the team is very valuable. Tanaji De Silva is not in contention for T20 cricket, and you need somebody in the top 5 to get you that couple of overs. Instead, someone goes off on a particular day, and that's Kamindu Mendis for you. That's how important he is into this team. 13 done, 81 for 5.
The fact that he is batting is no.
Ajit Agarkar, former player, chief selector.
Interesting job on his hands he's got. It's, I think, one of the hardest jobs to do in India.
Full toss, into the crowd she goes.
Always a good sign when you can get a boundary or a 6 of the first ball of the over.
First 6 of
And
the match.
it's the first 6 of the game, and you have to say that Riyan Parag, every time the bowlers have erred in length or line, he's taken full toll of that mistake. Does the same on this occasion. This man is oozing confidence.
It's gone wrong by a long way for Hasaranga.
That's a much better length. As bowling it slow is important to bowl those lengths. Yeah, once in a while you can get it wrong. When players of Riyan Parag's caliber, he is going to smash it.